right, we are on the record. It is April 10th, 2019. This is Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 1. Can I have the parties please announce themselves for the record?
Good morning, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Good morning, Robert Williams with the Office of the Public Defender.
Good morning.
Your Honor, Kevin Mitchell refused.
Okay. We'll reset Mr. Mitchell.
And Castro Lewis also refused.
Okay, it looks like he was behavior yesterday. And he's incarcerated on another case. I mean, this stems from two incidences. I don't know, Mr. Williams, I'm gonna appoint you, so do you wanna reset him for tomorrow?
Yes, reset him for tomorrow.
Okay, that's the last chance he gets, so you may
Okay.
wanna talk to him, I don't know, but,
Mrs. Malone, can we pass by her for
and we'll reset.
Which Cologne was that? That we're passing? No.
Felix Cologne, we're just holding, he said, can we hold off on a second? So I'm just gonna hold off on it.
Good morning.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Kenneth Martinez.
All right, Mr. Martinez. You're here in 2019 CF 4984AO. You're arrested for possession of heroin, possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bonds will stay at $1,000.
This is Mr. Kenneth Martinez.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at Juan Martinez. Okay.
Kenneth
Okay.
Martinez.
So Kenneth Martinez. I have to find him. All right. Mr. Kenneth Martinez. You're here in 2019 CF 3285AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for fleeing and attempting to elude a law enforcement officer with lights and sirens activated. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond will be set at $7,500. I'm gonna be confused today. Please tell me your name, sir.
Ed Cox.
All right, Mr. Ox. You're here in 2019 CF 4940AO. You're arrested for burglary of a structure and grand theft third degree. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. You're not to return back to Build Smart at 5221 West Colonial Drive. Your bond will stay at $3,500 on count 1 and $150 on count 2. Please tell me your name, sir.
Latavius Shepherd.
Mr. Shepherd, you're here in 2019 CF 4971AO. You're arrested for possession of MDMA ecstasy and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will stay at $1,500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. All right, ma'am, please tell, yep,
This is Ms. Beavis Colon.
okay. Okay, thank you. All right, ma'am. Can you please state your name for the record?
Glory Mar Felix Colon.
All right, you're here in 2019 CF 4967AO. You were arrested for dealing in stolen property, trafficking, and grand theft third degree. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to 4965 International Drive,
Okay.
to the Tory Burch, or any other store located at that location. You're not to have any contact with any victim, witness, or your co-defendant in the case. Your bond will stay at $2,500 on count 1 and $150 on count 2.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
My name is Cassine Taylor.
All right, Mr. Taylor, you're here in 2019 CF 4923AO. You were arrested for possession of cannabis, more than 20 grams, possession of drug paraphernalia. In 2019 CF 4931, you were arrested for introducing contraband into a county facility and possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause for these offenses in each case. Did you did not fill out a form for the public defender. Were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
No, ma'am.
Did you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
No, ma'am.
Okay, are you planning on representing yourself?
Yes, ma'am. They have filed a legal procedure on me.
A what?
Legal pat down. Like, when he walked up to me, he asked
Well,
me.
don't talk about the facts of your case, because what you're saying is recorded. The prosecutor's sitting right there. And so anything that you say can and will be used against you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So I think maybe you need to rethink whether or not you want to be represented by an attorney, because right now you're putting yourself in jeopardy.
No, ma'am. I just want to get it solved.
Okay. I am going to release you to pretrial release, okay? So you're not going to have to post a bond, but if you're going to represent yourself, the judge in the next proceeding, if the state files charges, will have to go through a litany of questions with you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So at this time, I'm going to place you in pretrial release for each of these cases. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're going to have to meet face-to-face with pretrial release once a week. You're subject to random urinalysis within 24 hours of your release. If he does test positive for cannabis within 30 days, I'm going to ask that they not violate you, okay? But
Yes,
that
ma'am.
doesn't mean that you can smoke it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you. God bless.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Brandon Alonzo Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, you're here in 2019 CF 4932AO. You were arrested for burglary of an occupied structure and a sanitary nuisance. I do find probable cause for the offenses. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to the McDonald's at 4640 South Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. Your bond will be $7,500 on count one and $100 on count two.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, the bond on count one was?
7,500?
7,500.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Jeffrey Allen Dempsey, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Dempsey, you're here in 2019 MO 645AO. You're arrested for disorderly conduct and state misdemeanors. I do find probable cause. You didn't fill out a form for the public defender, did you?
Yes, ma'am.
You did? Okay. Do we have a copy of that form, maybe? I don't,
I left it in there.
okay. Are you employed?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you if that's what you want. Is there an offer from Mr. Dempsey to resolve his case if he would like to today?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication, 5 days, 2 days credit, time served.
Is that something that you wanna do, Mr. Dempsey? I do have to impose court
Yes,
costs.
ma'am. No-
Okay,
no
and those will
contest.
run concurrent, okay?
Right. I'm sorry, sir. Never changed. Yes.
Oh, it was right here. It was stuck. I found your PD form.
So you said 5 days, ma'am, with 2 days credit?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, do you want to plead no contest, Mr. Dempsey?
Ma'am?
You want to plead no contest?
Yes, ma'am. No
Okay.
contest.
I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
All right, and you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find a factual basis based on the charging affidavit for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. Those counts will run concurrent, okay, meaning at the same time. And I'm going to order that you pay your court costs by April 10th, 2020. Gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence to the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
luck to you, sir.
So I get out when Friday?
I don't know. Corrections might be able to tell. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Cyril White.
All right, Mr. White, you're here in 2019 MM 3025AO. You were arrested for petty theft. I do find probable cause for the offense. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to the Publix liquor store at 1515 Rock Springs Road in Apopka, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any victims, witnesses in the case, or any co-defendants. Your bond will stay at the $500. You're out on bond. Do we know the status of that case?
It is set for trial April 22nd,
Okay.
Your Honor.
You're out on bond in 2018 CF 171530AO. This is a grand theft of a motor vehicle. I am going to revoke the bond and set the bond at none. Do we know if he has the public defender on that case?
Yes.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Christopher Bryant.
All right, Mr. Bryant, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Brevard County,
Yes.
and it looks like there's no bond on that case. And so Brevard has 24 hours to come and pick you up, okay? That does not include the weekends, but I don't think that'll affect you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
He does have reporting requirements, Your Honor.
And you do have reporting requirements, Mr. Bryant, okay?
I have a what?
Reporting requirements
What does that mean?
for your status.
Yes.
Yes, just advising you of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you today?
I'm good, Your Honor. And for the
Good.
record, Your Honor, I'm Attorney Merrill Glover Gambles. I represent Levante Altona.
Is this, okay, Altona. Do we know what happened to Mr. Donald? Okay, and let me just hold off on him real quick. Okay, Mr. Altona, you're here in 2019 CF 50020. You were arrested pursuant to an arrest warrant in which probable cause was found for attempted homicide and aggravated battery with a firearm. And you are represented by Ms. Glover Gambles in this case. And so your conditions of release are going to be you're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with the victim's family, the victim, any witnesses, or any co-defendants in the case. And you're going to have to surrender any firearms or weapons that you possess within 24 hours of your release. The bond will stay on count 2 as set in the warrant at $7,500. And the bond on count 1 will be $15,000. Is there anything else, Ms. Glover
No, Your
Gambles?
Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna call Mr. Donald's case. This is an MO case, 2019 MO 634AO. Mr. Williams, he's refused to come to court. Is yesterday the first time? So this is the second? Okay. It is an open container violation. So, I mean, he could plea it at any time on it. So I'm gonna point you and waive, do you wanna waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then we can set it for a status?
Yes.
In a week. So 2019 MO 634AO, I am gonna appoint the public defender. They've indicated they're going to waive his appearance. His bond will remain set at the $250, and we're gonna set this for a status within a week. Is there an offer, for Mr. Donald that can be relayed to him by the public defender?
The offer was an adjudication, 4 days, 3 days credit time served as of today, so,
I can't imagine that that would change.
no, it won't.
Okay, Mr. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yes. All right, please tell me your name. Please tell me your name.
Morgan Barnes.
All right, Mr. Barnes, you're here in 2019 CF 4878. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for burglary of a dwelling and criminal mischief, over 200, under 1,000. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you, You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to return back to 3347 Lake Margaret Drive. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Your bond will remain set at $2,500 on count one and $150 on count two.
Thank you. The bond. Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
William Bell.
All right, Mr. Bell, you're here in 2019 CF 4469. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for failing to report your name or residence change. And I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your bond will remain set at the $500 in the warrant. And you do have reporting requirements, Mr. Bell, okay?
Your Honor, if the state may be heard, that is well below bond schedule, and he has 2 prior failure to reports.
And
Failure
so
to
what are you asking the court to do?
The state is asking that bond be set at the bond schedule of $2,500, which is for 1 failure to report or register. The typical bond in this case would be $5,000, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, I've seen it all over the map.
Yes, Your Honor, but it's $2,500 the first, and then it accrues accordingly, but because this is his 3rd failure to register or report,
Is that convictions?
yes, Your Honor. He has, a failure to register and a failure to report. And that failure to report is ×2. So this technically then is actually the 4th.
All right. Can you give me those case numbers?
For his failures to,
The convictions?
Your Honor, I'll have to, I'm going on the information that's contained on the information sheet, Your Honor. I don't have his rap before me right now. One case number is 2018 CF 5485. And (2018) CF 7179. And there's a remote one, 2010 CF 8509.
very recent. All right, the bond will be set at 2,500 based on the additional information provided to the court. I'm not sure why Judge Laurent did the warrant at $500, but there was
I
obviously a
wasn't-
reason she did that, but
I
I don't know if
wasn't-
she didn't have the information that I was provided, so.
No, Your Honor.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
My name is Joshua Brannon.
All right, Mr. Brannon, you're here in 2019 CF 50030. You're arrested for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle, grand theft third degree, leaving the scene of a crash with injuries, and reckless driving. I have an issue with probable cause in this case. I'm going to appoint the public defender. I have a 5-sentence line affidavit, which provides me no information other than basically the words that he's charged with.
Your Honor, the state would ask pursuant to rule that the state be allowed 24 hours to contact Belle Isle and obtain a full narrative of the arrest affidavit.
Okay, we'll reset this for tomorrow for the state to provide additional PC support for the charges alleged. Please tell me your name, sir.
Madeline Charles.
All right, Mr. Charles, you're here in 2016 CF 11364AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a violation of probation hearing on March 13th, 2018. The judge revoked your release and set your bond on each count. Do you have the public defender? Okay, you do have the public defender.
I couldn't
Okay.
figure out because I just got back out of the hospital 3 weeks ago, so I
Okay.
couldn't figure out her name. But when I realized the warrants were still open, that's why I just came in.
Okay,
So.
well, you'll just speak with the public defender, okay, and they'll try and get you on the docket and maybe file a motion for you, okay?
No problem. Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name. All right, sir, you're here in 2019 CF 4929AO. You were arrested for carrying a concealed weapon. I do find probable cause for the offense. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. Your bond will stay at $2,500.
He does qualify for PTR, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'm going to stay the bond. Please tell me your name.
Jason Jerry Cockrell, ma'am.
All right, sir, you're here in 2018 CF 12319AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your arraignment on November 15th, 2018. The judge in that case revoked your release and set your bond at none. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Your Honor, Mr. Cockrell has indicated that he's been in the Department of Corrections. That was the reason for his failure to appear. He's currently in the department.
mean, I can't change the KPS. That's something that you can put in a motion for the court that issued the KPS, but, it's obviously something that the court in that case can consider. They're the ones that issued the KPS, and I'm not permitted to change that. Do we know if, I mean, there's really nothing I can do for him today, okay?
Okay.
But your attorney should be able to file a motion. It looks like this will be in Division 20.
I have court, one question, Your Honor. I have court tomorrow.
You gotta talk up, it's loud.
I have, I'm sorry, I have
okay.
court tomorrow. They have all my legal paperwork. I'm pro se in the case you just read, and I have a motion to dismiss on the FTA. I also have a notice of,
Well, so you already have a motion filed for this?
yeah, I have
the
several
issue?
motions
Okay.
filed, and I need my legal work, but they took my legal work when I got booked in. I'm not gonna go pro se in the case, but I would like to have because I have court tomorrow.
Yeah, you do have court tomorrow at 8:30 a.m.
And is that on
That's
the,
in front of Judge Cast, okay?
one question, Your Honor, is that on the final deposition, motion for final
It says
deposition?
motions and arraignment.
Motions in arraignment?
So,
Okay.
I'm showing that the motions you filed are in there, and so
Okay.
it's just labeled as motions and arraignment.
Okay,
So you'll see Judge Kest tomorrow, so that's something that you can discuss with him tomorrow anyway.
Okay.
I can't order them to give you
Yes,
your
ma'am.
paperwork, but whoever you can speak with, let them know you have motions tomorrow and you're representing yourself, and that you need that paperwork to handle your case.
Okay.
But I can't order them to give you anything, okay?
okay, thank you,
All
ma'am.
right, sir, good luck to you.
Good.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Domingo Colon Ortiz.
All right, Mr. Colon Ortiz, you're here in 2019 CF 4968AO. You're arrested for dealing in stolen property and grand theft third degree. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. You're not to return back to 4965 International Drive, that Tory Burch store, any other stores located at that location, that address. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to have any contact with any listed victims, witnesses, or your co-defendant. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Your bond will remain set at $2,500 on count 1 and $150 on count 2. Okay? Please tell me your name.
Matthew Delgado.
Do we know what happened to Mr. Danielson? Or Miss Danielson? Okay. Take no action. Mr. Delgado. In 2019 CF 4982AO, you're arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to distribute, possession of cannabis more than 20 grams, possession of tetrahydrocannabinols, possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for the offense. I am going to appoint the public defender. In 2019 CF 4979AO, you arrested for possession of hashish. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender in that case as well. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances. I'm going to place you in pretrial release. That is going to be one of your conditions. It means you won't have to post a bond, okay, on either one of the cases. You're subject to random urinalysis. If you test positive for cannabis or oils or whatever you're testing for, I'd ask that pretrial release not violate him within that 30-day time frame. That doesn't mean that you can consume or smoke cannabis, okay? and he'll have to meet face-to-face once a week with pretrial release. Okay, sir? Huh?
Okay, appreciate it.
All right, please tell me your name.
Tiffany Inc., E-N-C-K.
All right, ma'am, you're here in 2018 CF 11568AO. You were arrested for failing to appear for case management. On December 19, 2018, the judge revoked your release and set your bond at none in that case. In 2018 CF 11550AO, you were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your pretrial. On January 8th, 2019, the judge revoked your release and set your bond at none on each count. Does she have the public defender? You do have the public defender. Okay. We'll reset him. Please tell me your name.
Jose Gallego.
All right, Mr. Gallego, you are here in 2018, CF 11884AO. You arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your case management conference on February 18, 2019. The judge revoked your release, revoked your ROR, and set your bond at none in that case. Does he have the public defender? You have conflict counsel in that case, okay?
Okay.
Please tell me your name.
Tori Hobbs.
Sorry?
Tori Hobbs.
Okay. Mr. Gutierrez? Okay, that will go over to courtroom 2 for this afternoon. All right, sorry, sir. Can you tell me your name again?
Tori Hobbs.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hobbs. You're here in 2018 CF 13978AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your trial management conference on February 14, 2019. The judge revoked your release and set your bond at none on each count. In 2018 MM 8278AO, you were arrested pursuant to a capias, for failing to appear for your status hearing. On February 22nd, 2019, the judge revoked your release and your pretrial release. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 is $100. And if they're not already appointed, I'm appointing the public defender on each of your cases, okay? Please tell me your name.
Shaquille Irby.
All right, Mr. Irby, you're here in 2018 CF 15950. You were arrested for pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your arraignment on March 26, 2019. The judge forfeited your bond, set your bond at none. I am appointing the public defender to represent you.
Your Honor, Mr. Irby has indicated that he was actually incarcerated in Seminole County.
Okay, and a lot of judges will find that to be a willful failure to appear because of a new law arrest, and I'm not permitted to change a capias. So. All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Ansnella Luque.
All right, Ms. Luque, you're here in 2018 CF 10145AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your your case management conference on October 24, 2018. The judge in that case revoked your bond, set your bond at none. Does she have the PD? And you do have the public defender already, okay? All right, sir, please tell me your name. Mr. Martinez? All right. Mr. Martinez, you're here in 2019 CF 4984AO. You were arrested for possession of heroin, possession of cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And your bonds will remain set at $1,000 on count 1 and $150 on count 2, $100 on count 3. Do we know the status of his out on bond case except for trial?
Yes, Your Honor, it's set for trial May 20th.
Okay. You're out on bond for similar offenses, sir, in 2018 CF 16375AO. I am revoking the bond and setting it at none on each count. You're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. All right, please tell me your name.
Everett Maxwell.
All right, Mr. Maxwell. You're here in 2019 CF 4166. You were arrested for burglary pursuant to a warrant, in which probable cause was found already for burglary of a conveyance, fraudulent use of personal identification, information, and petty theft of $100 or more. You're not to return to the Walmart. Located Is that the Walmart? It says in the affidavit, Walmart. Okay. You're not to return to that Walmart at 200 South State Road, 434 Altamont Springs. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. his out on bond cases, do we know the date for the?
I can find that, Your Honor.
Excuse me? No,
I can find that.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the warrants, but,
Let me take a look.
Your Honor, may I say that I haven't done
don't tell me anything about the facts of your case, sir. Speak with Mr. Williams before you say anything, okay? It's like 2/7.
That's when it actually happened.
This is. Looks like 2/7, which would be before.
They're all standing for that.
For one of them.
So for 3640, Your Honor?
Two,
Um,
2/7.
Yeah, 27.
Yeah, both of the offenses in the out on bond cases occurred prior to this offense. So I'm not gonna take any action on the out on bond cases, okay, sir?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, if you come back
Yes, ma'am.
on this case with a
Yes,
new
ma'am.
law violation,
ma'am.
your bond will be revoked.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes, ma'am,
right?
I understand.
So your conditions of release are, I think I said them, you're not to go back to that Walmart.
ma'am.
You're not to have any contact with any victim, witness,
I understand.
or any co-defendants in the case, and the bonds will, did I say the bonds? Okay.
Your Honor, you did stay the bonds?
I don't, I asked her
I
if I
didn't-
said the bonds.
I didn't
Yeah,
hear
no,
you
I
set
didn't.
bonds.
So I'm gonna stay the bonds in the warrant at 1,500 on count 1, 500 on count 2, and $100 on count 3.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Be very careful.
Yes, ma'am. I've been staying out of trouble.
Okay, well, just,
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
McAllister.
all right, sir, please tell me your name. Oh,
Carlos
Mr.
McAllister.
We saw each other yesterday.
Yeah, you gave me 10 days for the other charge, and you said I had a warrant for something
Okay,
else.
so in 2019 CF 190BO, it looks like you failed to appear for your case management conference on March 27th, 2019. So
Yeah.
the judge in that case revoked your release and set your bond at none. And I am gonna appoint the public defender if they haven't previously been appointed, okay? But I can't do anything about the KBS. I'm sure Mr. Williams explained that to you. All right, please tell me your name.
Laurel Moore.
Okay, do we know what happened to Molina Mayhe? Okay, we'll send that over to courtroom 2. Please tell me your name again.
Laurel Moore.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. All right, you're here in 2018 CF 11859AO. You're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a violation of probation on April 1st, 2019. The judge in that case revoked your release and set your bond at none. And, does she have the public defender? You have a private attorney in that
Yes,
case?
ma'am.
Okay. I would try and get in touch with them, but because I can't do anything about the CAPIA, so they can file any appropriate motions that they need to file, okay?
Okay,
I'm-
thank you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. This is Miss
Moore?
Moore? Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name. Sorry. Yeah, thank you, Ms. Moore. Please tell me your name, sir.
Milton Nadal Gonzalez.
Okay, sir. You're here in 2019 CF 4972AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. Your bond will remain set at $1,000. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're out on bond on drug charges as well in 2019 CF 2214AO. You were out on ROR. I am revoking the bond or ROR and setting it at none on each count. Yes. Huh? No drugs and alcohol. Or drugs. Please tell me your name, sir.
Nicholas O'Neill.
I'm sorry, I could not hear you.
Nicholas O'Neill.
Okay. Mr. O'Neill, what happened? Do we know? Is that what he said? Oh, okay. All right. I heard a different name, so thank you. In 2019 CF 4949AO, you were arrested for burglary of an occupied dwelling, grand theft third degree, criminal mischief, over 200 under 1,000, throwing a deadly missile at or into a building, trespass on property after warning. I find probable cause for each offense as listed. In 2019 CF 4966AO, you arrested for burglary of a structure and grand theft third degree. I find probable cause for each of the offenses. In 2019 CF 4950AO, you were arrested for throwing or shooting into an occupied structure or dwelling and burglary of an occupied dwelling. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender on each of your cases. In 4949, you're not to return back to the Marriott Lakeshore at 11248 Lakeshore Reserve Drive. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're to abide by any and all trespass warnings. In 2019 CF 4966AO, I'm sorry, the bonds on those counts will remain in 4949 at 5,000, count 1, count 2, 150, count 3, 100, and counts 4 and 5, 150 and 100. In 4966, you're not to return back to Freedom Tile at 12701 South John Young Parkway, number 218. You're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses in the case. You're not to possess weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to possess any illegal substances or consume without a valid prescription. The bonds will remain set at $3,500 on count 1, $150 on count 2. In 2019 CF 4950AO, you are not to possess any weapons or firearms. You're not to return back to the Marriott Grand Reserve at the 11248 Lakeshore Reserve Drive. You're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses in the case. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and the bonds will remain set at $5,000 on count 1 and $150 on count 2. Please tell me your name, sir.
This is Eduardo Pascasio.
All right, sir, you're here in 2019 CF 4742. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for petty theft, 2 prior convictions. You're not to return back to the Publix at 242 North Orlando Avenue in Maitland, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case, and your bond will remain set at $2,500. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
William Robinson.
Mr. Robinson, you're here in 2019 CF 4928AO. You're arrested for possession of a controlled substance without a prescription and possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you find probable cause? I am going to appoint the public defender. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Count 1, your bond will be $1,000. Count 2, $100. Please tell me your name.
Pedro Rojas.
Mr. Rojas, you're here in 2019 CF 4962AO. You're arrested for grand theft 3rd degree. I do find probable cause. You do not qualify for the public defender's office. You're not to return back to the Home Depot at 7022 West Colonial Drive in Orlando, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. And
And Your Honor,
did he
in
ever
the-
have the PD in the other case that he's out on, in its pretrial?
Pretrial diversion.
He's been
Yeah.
referred to pretrial
I
diversion.
mean, he's gonna
Your
get
Honor.
rejected now.
Yes. And I don't see,
Yeah.
there was never a
I can't,
notice of
yeah,
appearance.
I can't see the court minutes from 319, so I don't know. They're not in Odyssey. And it doesn't show that he had the PD, so, does the state have a position on the PTD case?
Your Honor, this matter should take care of the pretrial diversion case. He's likely to be rejected on this matter. So the state would recommend that no action be taken on that.
So, Mr. Rojas, I'm not gonna take any action on the case that you were referred to pretrial diversion in 2018 MM 11664, okay? But you're probably not gonna be able to get into that program. So, and you don't qualify for the public defender's office. So, I can't appoint them to represent you. So you may want to contact an attorney, okay? But I'm gonna stay your bond, on the new law violation at the $500. You're not to return back to that location. I believe it was at Home Depot on Colonial Drive, not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses. And, I don't know what's gonna happen with that other case, but make sure that you keep in touch with anybody who contacts you, because you're not represented, okay? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, please tell me your name.
Amanda Rundell.
All right, ma'am, you're here in 2019 CF 4978AO. You're arrested for possession of heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will remain set at $1,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. And I appointed the PD thing. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Badira Couture.
Okay, do we know what happened to Sard Lopez? Okay, we'll send him over to courtroom 2. All right, ma'am. You're here in 2017 CF 11936AO. You're arrested for failing to appear pursuant to a capias. At your status hearing on March 22nd, 2019, the judge revoked your release and set your bond at none. Is she represented by the PD? Okay, you are represented by the public defender. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Daquan Walker.
Mr. Walker, you are here in 2019 CF 4970AO. You're arrested for possession of methamphetamine or MDMA ecstasy and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will stay at $1,000 on count 1, $100 on count 2. You're out on open cases in 2019 CF 2009AO and 2019 MM 1765AO. Do we know what's going on with the misdemeanor? Just says open case. Okay.
He hasn't been arrested on it. It was a summons, but it's filed on separate arraignment.
Okay, but he hasn't been seen by a judge or anything on that case.
No.
Looks like on 4/3, it was returned to the state to perfect service. In 2019 CF 2009AO, I am going to revoke that release and set the bond at none, and I'm not going to take any action on the other case. Poor Mr. Williams. All right, ma'am, please tell me your name.
Autumn Marie Weddingo.
All right, you're here in 2018 CF 13239AO. You're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your pretrial conference on February 13th, 2019. The judge in that case forfeited your bond, revoked your release, and set your bond on none at each count. Is she represented? And you are represented by the public defender. Okay, ma'am? All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Bruce Wool.
All right, Mr. Wool, you're here in 2019 CF 1854. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. You're not to return back to Fox Rent-A-Car at 5757 South Cimarron Boulevard. You're not to have any contact with any other, if there's another co-defendant in the case. And then, I don't know. Looks like 9/30/18 was that date of offense.
What is this about?
Looks like that date of offense occurred in September, and then the out on the open case that he has in 2018 CF 15911 looks like he was arrested on 11/8 or 11/7. So I'm not going to take any action on that case. And your bond in the new case will remain as set in the warrant at the $5,000. And I appointed the PD. I think I said that.
Is it? Because I don't know what this is about. I've never been to Fox Rent-A-Car. Is there any way I can get that bond lowered at all?
I'm not gonna lower the bond. You're out on a RICO charge. You've got a history, quite a history, and that's the listed amount in the warrant. I think that's an appropriate bond. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
James Wynn. James Wynn.
All right, Mr. Nguyen. You're here in 2019 CF 4963AO. You're arrested for petty theft and resisting arrest, resisting recovery of, so resisting merchant, trying to recover the property. I do find probable cause for the offenses. You did not fill out a form for the public defender.
They didn't call me for it.
I'm sorry?
They did not call me out for a public defender.
What is he saying?
He didn't know that he never got any
Okay.
notice for the public
Do
defender.
you want me to appoint the public defender, Mr. Nguyen?
I guess so.
Okay. I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to return back to the Family Dollar store at 737 South Orange Blossom Trail in Apopka, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. And you're not to possess any illegal substances or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will stay at the $1,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2.
Illegal substance, where they come from, man? He had no illegal substance.
Sorry. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Matthew Boisel, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Boisel, you're here in 2019 CO 423AO. You're arrested for soliciting without a permit. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender. Is there an offer for Mr. Boisel to see if he wants to resolve his case today?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication, 5 days, 2 days credit time served.
And I have to impose court costs. Is that something you wanna do, Mr. Boisel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. All right, do you want to plea no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
It is.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 10th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Good luck to you.
Mr. Edmond, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Donna Ray Edmond Jr.
All right, Mr. Edmond, you're here in 2019 CF 2807DO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for racketeering, conspiracy to engage in a pattern of racketeering activity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 counts of burglary of a conveyance, and 11 counts of grand theft. And probable cause has already been found by the judge in that case. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. The conditions of release pursuant to the capias are that you're to surrender any passport to the clerk of the court prior to your release. You cannot travel outside the state of Florida until further order of the court, which is the judge who signed the capias, okay? It's the judge who, I believe, in Division 11. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with any co-defendant or any witnesses or any victims in the case. Additionally, the court imposed another condition of release, which is you will keep your attorney and the clerk of the court advised of your most current address and phone number. And all of the bond, Ms. Hammeroff, are you representing Office of the Statewide?
Prosecutor, yes, Your Honor.
Yes, and I'm just gonna, I can't touch the capias amount, so I am just going to stay the bonds as listed in the capias. It will be $150,000 on count 1, $100,000 on count 2, $75,000 on count 3, $50,000 on count 4, $10,000 on count 5, $5,000 on counts 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 10,000 on counts 14 through 24. Huh? 14 says 10,000 on the KPS. Okay, I don't have the information.
I have the information,
Okay.
Your Honor. Would you like me to list them off, or would the court like a copy of the information?
I don't have the information.
I can list off. which
Yeah,
ones.
that would be great if, if you could list them so that everyone is aware.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Edmond is accused of counts 1, count 2, count 3, count 4, count 5, count 6, count 10, count 11, count 12, count 13, count 14, count 15, count 16, count 17, count 18, count 19, count 20, count 24, count 25, count 26, count 27, and count 28.
Okay, I didn't even have all those counts on the arrest affidavit.
I'm sorry, there are 2 more. I apologize. Thank you. He is also accused of counts 29 and count 30.
Okay. I don't even have all that information on the arrest affidavit. So,
The duty judge at that time, Your Honor, was Judge Marquez. We did go through the full information together. I do believe that she listed
are those all the bonds?
bond amounts for all 30 charges.
Huh? Right, but were all the bonds correct? Okay, because the information I have in front of me is not correct. Okay. I just want him. Okay, all right. So I've listed all of the correct bond amounts. Okay, and all of the correct conditions. Okay. Okay, I may just have the state list off
Yes, Your Honor.
so that it's correct.
No problem, Your
So
Honor.
let me call the case, 2019 CF 2807BO. Are you Mr. Tyrone Haynes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Haynes. State, if you could just list off the specific counts that Mr. Haynes was charged in and the bond amounts?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay. As listed, or I can list the bond amounts, that's fine, as long as I know which counts he's charged in.
Very good. He is charged in count 1, count 2, count 3, count 4, count 5, count 7, count 8, count 9, count 10, count 11, count 12, count 13, count 14, count 15, count 17, count 18, count 19, count 21, count 22, count 23, count 24, count 25, count 26, count 27, count 28, count 29.
Okay. so, Mr. Haynes, you're charged in count one with racketeering. Your bond is set at $150,000. You're charged in count two with conspiracy to engage in a pattern of racketeering, $100,000 bond. Counts 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 are all burglaries of a conveyance. Your bonds are set on count 3 at $75,000, count 4 at $50,000, count 5, $10,000, counts 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 at $5,000. Count 17 is a grand theft, count 18 grand theft, 19 grand theft, all the way through 29 are grand thefts. Your bonds are set at $10,000 on each grand theft. The court imposed conditions of your release, and these are your conditions. You're to surrender any passport to the clerk of the court prior to any release. You're not to travel outside of the state of Florida until further order of the court, which is in Division 11. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with any co-defendants or any state witnesses or victims in the case. Looks like your total bond is $550,000. And I am appointing the public defender to represent you, if I did not already say that.
That's all I have before the court. May be excused.
Thank you, Ms. Hammeroff. Yes, appreciate it. Sorry you had to wait so long.
I thought it'd be late.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Jonathan Nathaniel Martin Rowland.
All right, Mr. Rowland, you are here in 2019 MO 646AO. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause. You did not fill out a form for the public defender. Do you want to see if the state has an offer for you to resolve your case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's an adjudication, 5 days, 2 days credit time served, and court costs.
Is that something that you want to do?
I'm sorry, but could you repeat that? I didn't really get to hear
Sure,
that clearly.
it's an adjudication of guilt and 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days time served. I think that might get you out tomorrow. Tomorrow? No, Friday?
That's okay.
Okay, and you're okay proceeding without an attorney?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Mr. Rowland, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
All right, are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, I understand.
All right, I do find a factual basis based on the charging affidavit for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days time served. I'm going to order that you pay your court costs by April 10th, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Okay?
I mean, I get out tomorrow.
Friday, probably. That's
right,
what they're
thank you.
telling me. Okay?
Have a good day.
All right, ma'am, please tell me your name.
Samantha Chansey.
All right, Ms. Chansey, you're here in 2019 MM 3016AO. You're arrested for petty theft. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defenders to represent you. I'm not sure if the state will have an offer for you to resolve your case today, but we'll see.
Yes, Your Honor. It would be an adjudication, 7 days, 2 days credit time served, no return to the Home Depot at 6130 East Colonial Drive, and abide by all trespass warnings.
All right, Ms. Chansey, that's the state's offer. You don't have to accept it. And then if she does want to accept it, Mr. Williams, you need to explain to her the enhancement with regards to petty theft, okay?
She will accept the offer, Your Honor.
Okay, and you understand the enhancements with regards to petty theft? Thank you. All right, Ms. Chansey, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Okay. You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the enhancements with regards to petty theft, and they're going to take some fingerprints from you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? All right. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 7 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You're not to return back to the Home Depot at 6130 East Colonial Drive, Orlando, Florida. You're to abide by all trespass warnings. And I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 10th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off, okay? If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, ma'am. Okay? Please tell me your name.
Tiffany Hall.
All right, Ms. Hall. You're here in 2019 MM 3024AO. You're arrested for petty theft. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to return back to the Publix liquor store at 1515 Rock Springs Road of Hopka, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness, in the case, or your co-defendant. She out on pretrial release?
Yes, she's got a pretrial release.
You're out on pretrial release, ma'am, in 2019 CF 2950AO. I'm revoking that release. I am gonna set a bond, however. Your bond amount is gonna be $1,500. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And I believe you're represented by the public defender in that case.
Your Honor, did you, on the auto bond case, you revoked the PTR and did you issue a?
I set a bond at $1,500.
Okay, and for the current charge here? The current-
I believe I stayed the
You
bond,
stated?
or the bond at, if I did not say it, I'm staying that bond at the $500. And I listed those conditions: not returning back to the public, no contact with any victim, witness, or your co-defendant.
And Your Honor, the state would ask that there also be a no return to the Winn-Dixie where the Tito's was
Okay.
stolen from.
No return back to the Winn-Dixie. Do you know that address?
Yes, Your Honor. I just had it in front of, 1573 West US 441 in Apopka.
You're not to go back there either. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Cedric Jackson,
You know what happened to Mr. Heaton? All right, we'll reset him. All right, Mr. Jackson, you're here in 2019 MM 3020AO. You were arrested for trespass on a property after warning. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Is there an offer for Mr. Jackson if he wants to resolve his case today?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication, 7 days, 2 days credit time served, no return from the Speedway at 2655 South Kirkman Road. Abide by all trespass warnings.
And I have to impose court costs, Mr. Jackson, so is that something you wanna do?
Ma'am, sorry. Yes, I can take the plea. Yes, ma'am.
John, did you,
Yeah. Oh, I said it.
Does he qualify for pretrial release?
He does qualify for pretrial release. So I can put him in pretrial release. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do pretrial release. You may wanna discuss with him some of those conditions that are probably gonna apply. Or he can try and resolve his case today. Whichever he prefers.
And for the record, Your Honor, the state would object to pretrial release as he's got 34 convictions, 17 felony, 17 misdemeanor. His failure to appear, he had one at the end of last year. And
Well, it's a heightened form of supervision, so I can give him the $500 bond. I can put him in pretrial release over the state's objection, or he can take the offer today, whatever he wants to do.
And Your Honor, if the court does, and he chooses pretrial release, the state would ask random urinalysis.
Yep.
Mr. Jackson has indicated that he will,
You got it, I can't hear you, Mr. Williams.
he will, have pretrial release, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, you understand that you're gonna have face-to-face meetings with pretrial release, you're gonna be subject to random urinalysis within 24 hours of your release, no alcohol, no drugs.
Yes.
If you get arrested again, I'm gonna revoke your release, and
Yes.
it's not gonna be a good situation. So you know, only you know what you can do.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So you feel like you can do pretrial release?
ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna put you in pretrial release. You're gonna have face-to-face meetings with pretrial release, no drugs,
Yes.
no alcohol. You're
Yes.
subject to random urinalysis within
Yes.
24 hours of your release.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
and if
ma'am.
you test positive for cannabis, I'd ask that they not violate you within 30 days. However, that does not mean that you can consume it or smoke it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're not to go back to the Speedway at 2655 South Kirkman Road. You're to abide by any and all trespass warnings, especially if you come back here
Yes, ma'am.
due to a trespass or
Yes.
anything involving that Speedway. It's not going to be good,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
Yes.
All right.
And how often did you want the face-to-face, Your
Once a
Honor?
week.
Once a week. Okay.
Good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
Tamika Johnson.
All right, Ms. Johnson, you're here in 2019 MM 3023AO. You're arrested for petty theft. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Is there an offer for Ms. Johnson?
No, Your Honor.
My guess is that the state is probably looking at your theft convictions and it can be enhanced, so it's possible that this will end up being a felony. I don't know what the state will do. So, if you have 2 prior convictions, they can upgrade it to a felony. So, I haven't had any, the victims aren't here. I'm not gonna make an offer from the bench today. So, you're not to return back to the Publix liquor store at 1515 Rock Springs Road, Apopka, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses in the case. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to have any contact with the co-defendants either. And there was the Winn-Dixie,
At 1573.
West US 441.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, 1573 West US 441, Apopka, Florida. That Winn-Dixie liquor store, you're not to go back there. And your bond will be set at $1,000.
And Your Honor, there's an out on bond.
Oh, I don't have it.
It's a 2019 CF 001960 AO.
Oh, thank you. All right, ma'am, you're out on bond in 2019, CF 1960AO for possession of a firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon, possession of MDMA ecstasy, and providing false ID to law enforcement. I am gonna revoke the bonds and set the bonds at none. Said it, but, if I didn't say it, I'm appointing the PD. I said it. Oh, on the out on bond too, okay.
Your Honor?
I'm appointing the PD on the
Oh,
out on bond
okay,
too. She doesn't have it, she bonded out before she came to IA, so.
Okay.
All right, please tell me your name.
James Mickens.
Do we know what happened to Ms. Lewis? She bond out? All right, we'll reset her. All right, Mr. Mickens?
Yes.
Okay. You're here in 2019 MM 3018AO. You're arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there an offer from Mr. Mickens?
Yes, it's an adjudication of guilt, 7 days, 2 days credit time served.
You gonna accept the offer, Mr. Mickens?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you want to plead no contest?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Mickens, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, it is.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, I do.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
All right. You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation.
Yes, I understand.
All right. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 7 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 10th, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck to you. Please tell me your name, ma'am.
LaRonda Presley.
All right, Ms. Presley, you're here in 2019 MM 358AW. You're arrested for petty theft. It's a retail offense. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there an offer for Ms. Presley if she wants to resolve her case today?
I may have just one moment to see if the merchandise was recovered. Yes, it would be an adjudication of guilt, 15 days.
I'm sorry, it's hard
An
to...
adjudication of guilt, 15 days. Restitution in the amount of $196.03. No return to the Circle K at 14990 West Colonial Drive. Abide by all trespass warnings.
And if she wants to accept that, you're going to need to explain the enhancements with regards to petty theft, okay?
She will accept the offer, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. All right, you want to plead no contest, Ms. Presley?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find a factual basis based on the charging affidavit. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 15 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for, how many days? 2 days,
2
time
days.
served. There is restitution to the Circle K in the amount of $196.03. You're not to return back to the Circle K at 14990 West Colonial Drive to abide by any and all trespass warnings. And I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 10th, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, ma'am, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Please tell me your name.
Bernice Ruth.
All right, Miss Ruth, you're here in 2019 MM 3000 AO. You're arrested for trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance. This is a refusal to leave. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Miss Ruth?
An adjudication of guilt, 5 days, 2 days credit time served, no return to the Regions Bank building at 3146 South Orange Avenue, abide by all trespass warnings and court costs.
Understand.
Miss Ruth, you want to accept that offer?
Yeah, I accept it.
Okay. Do you want a plea no contest?
No contest,
Okay.
Jan.
Thank you. All right, Miss Ruth, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, that's my signature.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea
Yes,
form?
I understand everything.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, I
Are you
understand.
on probation anywhere?
No probation.
Okay. And you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Oh, yes, I understand that.
Okay. I do find a factual basis based on the charging affidavit for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You're not to go back to the Regions Bank at 3146 South Orange Avenue in Orlando, Florida, and you're to abide by any and all trespass warnings. I'm going to order you pay their court costs by April 10th, 2020. Gives you a year to pay them off, okay?
Okay.
If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Okay.
Okay? Good luck to you. Please tell me your name.
Amy Lynn Bird.
Do we know how Miss Johnson? 190-10721.
She was seen.
Okay, I just had her again. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She was already seen. It was just an extra copy, I guess. Okay, Miss Burt?
Yes.
All right, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Lake County. Looks like the bond in that case is $2,000. In 2018 CT 6736, is that correct? The bond's 2,000?
For that one, yes.
Okay, and then, yeah, and then 2018 CT 3248, it's an out-of-county warrant out of Lake County. It looks like that bond is set at none. Lake County has 24 hours to come and pick you up, ma'am. That does not include the weekends, okay? charge for Presley Petty theft? She pled LaRonda Presley. It's petty theft. All right, please tell me your name.
Kurt Hidalgo.
All right, do we know what happened to Gongora? Okay. Take no action on that. Okay, sir, looks like you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County. And the judge in that case set your bond at none. And so Seminole County has 24 hours to come and pick you up. That does not include the weekends, okay? Please tell me your name, ma'am.
Kathleen Meyer Quella.
Okay, Miss Meyer, you're here, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of St. Lucie County. Looks like the bond's in your case. You have 9 counts. And looks like counts 1 through 4 are $100,000. Count 5 and 6 are $75,000. Count 7 is $25,000, and counts 8 and 9 are $1,000 on each count. And so if you can bond out, you can do so. If not, St. Lucie County has 72 hours to come and pick you up, and that does not include the weekends, okay?
Ma'am, may I ask you a question?
Sure.
Would you be able to reduce my
I
bond?
can't touch the bonds out of county.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
Roberto Diaz.
All right, Mr. Diaz. You were picked up on an out-of-county warrant. Is this Osceola? Out of Osceola County. Looks like your bond is set at $500. That's in 2019 MM284. If you can bond out, you can do so. If not, Osceola County has 24 hours to come and pick you up, and that does not include the weekends. Okay, sir? Did you hear me? Your bond is set at $500. If you can bond out, you can do so. If not, Seminole has Osceola has 24 hours to come and pick you up, okay?
I talked to my family and they said they were trying to bum me out with it. Said I had a hope. Okay. Thank you.
Please tell me your name, sir.
Gregory Santoni.
Do we know what happened to Mr. Doe? Oh. Oh, okay, we've identified him? Okay. Sorry. Okay, Mr. Santoni, you were arrested in 2019 CF 4901AO for resisting an officer without violence, 2 counts, and battery on a law enforcement officer. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you in that case. You're not to return back to the public supermarket at 5265 South John Young Parkway. Your bonds will stay at $1,000 on counts 1 and 2, and I'm reducing your bond on count 3 to $1,000. Yeah, 1 and 2 are 1,000, and count 3 is 1,000. And then looks like there's an on-view violation of probation out of Osceola County that they're filing. There's probable cause for that, and so your bond will stay at none in that case.
Your Honor, I have a question about 2019 CF 4901 AO. I believe that's resisting an officer without violence. And when I'm reading over the affidavit, I don't believe that there was PC found for his arrest.
I can't hear you. We could.
I don't believe there was PC for his arrest in 4901 AO. Seems to me, reading over the affidavit, this was a misdemeanor that occurred before at an earlier date, and the date that he was arrested was a later date, and probably there should have been a warrant for that arrest. I hope you can hear me. Yes, on 325, I'm sorry, Your Honor,
Right,
320.
and then on April 8th, he returned to the store.
Right.
And right when I walked in.
And I'm referring to Rule 901.15, that this wasn't pursuant to a felony.
State.
How would you feel if you walk in?
Your Honor, if I am understanding correctly,
I'm not really sure what his argument is.
I believe that the argument is in regards to the 325 petty theft, which this officer did observe.
Right.
And so this officer did have probable cause, even though that occurred on 325, to approach Mr. Santone. And when he did, Mr. Santone resisted without violence and battered the officer. Therefore, the state would assert that probable cause exists for both the resisting without, the battery on the law enforcement officer, and it even exists for probable cause is contained within this affidavit that Mr. Santone was the individual that the officer saw on 325 commit a petty theft.
I mean, are you arguing that he wasn't the same person who saw
No,
him?
no,
Oh, okay.
I'm arguing with I'm arguing with the battery. I don't believe that the arrest itself was valid
Why?
because there was no warrant. There was a misdemeanor that he was being asked about.
But he witnessed the incident, correct?
Right, at an earlier date, and I
Okay, so
believe should have.
What rule are you citing?
I'm looking at 901.15. My argument is that in a felony,
Is this 901.15?
Honor, if the state may be heard briefly.
Sure, I mean, I'm reading it. That's a
And-
correct statement of the law, Mr. Williams.
And it is a correct statement of the law. However, Mr. Santoni was not arrested for the petty theft. That may indeed be submitted as an at-large to the state
But
attorney's
there is
office.
no, right, there's no petty theft
There is
allegation.
no
I
petty
think he's,
theft.
I'm sorry, I think he's arguing that one of the resistings, is that what you're arguing?
Yeah.
That one count of the resisting occurred on March 25th, and the officer did not get a warrant because it is a misdemeanor, and it was not in fresh pursuit of a felony.
I think,
Is that what you're arguing?
I am, but I believe everything that happened on the 8th. The resisting twice happened on the 8th, and this is what happens to violate his probation. This arrest here. And I'm arguing that the arrest itself wasn't valid. And so he had a resisting, everything happened on the 8th because that's what, in the facts of the affidavit, that on 320.
Right, so the violation, I'm not really sure what you're arguing. Are you arguing there's not probable cause for the violation of probation?
Because the arrest itself wasn't valid. He should have got a
Wait,
warrant.
the arrest on the 8th was not a valid arrest?
Well, he was observed, allegedly, there was a misdemeanor, a petty theft. And
Right,
then-
but he
and on the
stopped
8th
to conduct a criminal investigation for the retail theft as referenced above.
on the 8th.
Right.
Right. And so he
So
should have.
he's not allowed to
No, but-
investigate what happened
No,
on
but the facts- no,
I'm
this is
sorry,
more-
please don't interrupt me.
I'm sorry.
He's not allowed, are you arguing that he is not allowed on the 8th to investigate what occurred when he saw your client again after the 25th? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
What I'm arguing is that when you saw my client on the 8th, that was the facts of the affidavit is basically it was an arrest. He's arguing that I saw an individual that I recognized on the 25th,
Right.
and I arrested. There was no investigation. It was already immediate arrest.
He was trying to stop him to conduct an investigation for the retail theft that occurred on the 25th. He approached him, and then it says that he proceeded to order him to place his hands behind his back. He verbally refused.
That's your first resistance.
So he was going to detain him to conduct a criminal investigation. That's how I read it.
Okay. I argue different. I argue that he was already, he saw someone that he recognized at an earlier date.
Right,
That
that
was-
he believed committed a crime.
Right.
And he was stopping him to investigate that situation. And he refused to cooperate with him asking him to stop.
Okay, Your Honor.
I'm just trying to understand what you're,
Your Honor, myself.
you can speak at your own peril.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to disrespect the court at
No,
all.
you're not, but
Okay.
you just beware, anything that you say can and will be used against you.
Yes, ma'am. No, all I'm stating is that, basically, right when you walk in and you're getting barged like that, who wouldn't resist? That's all I'm indicating. Right when you walk in there. That's all I'm saying. So,
I don't know if a law enforcement officer told me to stop, I'd probably stop. But, I'm, Mr. Williams, if I get your argument correctly, it's that you're saying that there was no basis to stop him
yes.
Correct,
on the
Your
8th.
Honor. Yes.
Okay, I don't agree with that. So I appreciate your argument. It's a thoughtful argument, but I don't agree with it. And so I do find the probable cause and for the violation of probation, if that's what you're arguing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and so the bond will be set at none in that case. The VOP. That's what he was arguing.
All right, that's it? All right, thank you, ma'am.
All right. Can you tell me your name, please?
Ronald Edward King, ma'am.
All right, Mr. King, looks like your attorneys have filed a motion for release on your own recognizance or on the alternative to reduce bond in 2019, MM 2273AO. Mr. Williams, it's your motion. Do you want to have your client sworn in?
Excuse me 1 second, Your Honor.
And you're aware that your client was out on bond or out on ROR in another case?
What's the case?
Huh?
What's that case that you brought up?
2019 MM 689AO. Unfortunately, whoever filed it didn't fail to put that in the motion, which I think is kind of relevant.
Can this be reset to this afternoon, Your Honor?
You want to reset it?
To this afternoon?
Okay. All right, in 2019 CF 3334AO, this is a motion for automatic release on own recognizance by Mr. Burnham.
And, Your Honor,
Looks like information was filed.
yes, Your Honor, and Mr. Burnham tried to cancel this hearing
Oh,
yesterday
okay.
afternoon
Okay.
via email.
You may want to let Mr. George know that he put Mark Bleckman's name in the certificate of service. So, I'm gonna deny it. All right, 2019 CF 2738, Traviance Polite. It's filed by Mr. Jonathan Mills.
And, Your Honor, there has been no filing decision made. That
Okay.
should be granted.
That will be granted. All right, now we're on to the PD motions.
Your Honor, may the state have about 2 minutes to
Okay, I'm gonna take a break. right, we're back on the record. 2019 CF 2398AO Marcus Royce Brock.
And information was filed on April 9th. Filing ID is 8771-7709.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 2791AO James Christopher Crum.
And information was filed on April 9th. Filing ID is 8772-5353.
That will be denied. 2018 CF 15695AO Derek Lamar Brown Jr.
A notice of non-filing was filed on April 9th.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 3303AO David Lee Rogers.
A notice of non-filing on April 9th.
That will be granted. 2019 MM 127AA Devonte Alexander Ortiz.
Notice of non-filing on April 9th.
That will be granted. 2019 MM 1809AO Robert Lee Hendricks.
A notice of non-filing on April 9th.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 1491AO Fernando Fernandez Ayala.
No filing decision response has been given.
Granted. 2019 CF 2985AO Robert Pedro Roman Fuentes Jr.
And information was filed on April 9th. Filing ID is 87688674.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 3066AO Mark William Nichols.
A notice of non-filing on April 9th.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 3109AO Barry Wilbert Brown.
A notice of non-filing April 9th.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 3320AO Christopher Robert Lee.
Notice of non-filing on April 9th.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 2033AO Marcus Royce Brock.
And information was filed on April 9th. Filing ID is 87716284.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 3321AO.
A request for administrative transfer and a consolidation was done with 2019 MM 1967, and a misdemeanor information was filed, clocked in, copy was emailed to defense.
And that was Gwynson Clerger. I did not announce the name.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, that was Gwynson Clerger. I did not announce the name. And
Yes,
that
Your
will
Honor.
be denied. 2019 MM 1967AO.
That was
Winston Clerger.
consolidated with the prior.
So that will be denied. All right, and then we're gonna recall Mr. King, and then Mr. Fulcher, and then has the state been given that information so that I can review it?
Yes, Your Honor, I will print it out or try to print it out again. It did not. Literally, when I said my printer, it just didn't print. I think there was a problem.
Okay, we'll be in recess until
And
this
that was
afternoon.
on Mr. Fulcher.
record. It's session 2, Judge Wish, April 10th, 2019. Can I have the parties please announce themselves for the record?
Good afternoon, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Good afternoon, Robert Williams with the Office of the Public Defender.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Montravius Austin.
All right, looks like this was sent over from courtroom 1 or 2. Okay.
This is Alston, Your Honor.
Mr. Service? Oh, no?
No. This is Mr. Alston.
Alston?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I thought he said there is service too.
Yeah, that's what I thought he said. That's what it sounded like. Okay. Mr. Alston, you're here in 2019 CF 4994AO. You were arrested for introducing contraband in a county facility. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender in that case. And in 2019 CF 4992AO, you were arrested for possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause for those offenses as well. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. In 4994, your bond will stay at the $1,000. In 4992, it will stay at $1,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. All right, please tell me your name. Oh, sorry. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Jarvis Bailey Barnett.
Okay, Mr. Bailey Barnett, you're here in 2019 CF 4997AO. You're arrested for possession of methamphetamine, possession of cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for those offenses. You're also arrested in 2019 CT 2775AO and for driving while license suspended. I do find probable cause for the offense. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you in both your cases. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to drive without a valid license. Your bond remains set at $1,000 on count 1, $150 on count 2, and $100 on count 3 in 4997. And in the CT case, your bond will be set at the $500, and you're out on bond. In 2019 CF 3714AO for similar offenses, I am revoking the bonds and setting them at none. Nope, no PD. Okay, and I'm gonna appoint the PD on the out on bond case as well, because he doesn't have an attorney.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, please tell me your name, sir.
Steven Barasoni.
All right, you are here in 2019 CF 4996AO. You're arrested for trafficking in heroin, more than 4 grams, less than 14 grams, possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver, battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting an officer with violence, resisting an officer without violence, and possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you in that case. And in 2019, CF 4995AO Were you arrested for driving while license revoked as a habitual traffic offender? I do find probable cause for that offense. Your bonds you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're not to drive without a valid license. Your bonds in 4996AO will remain at $100,000 on count 1. Counts 2, 3, and 4 will be $150, and counts 5 and 6 will be $100. In 4995, your bond will remain at $2,500. Huh? Oh, and you are out on bond, sir, for similar offenses. In 2018 CF 10390AO, I am revoking the bonds on each count and setting them at none. All right, please tell me your name.
Vernon Birch.
All right, Mr. Birch. You were arrested in 2019 CF 5001AO. You were arrested for driving while license revoked as a habitual traffic offender and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to drive without a valid license. Your bond will stay set at $2,500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. And I read the out on bond case. I don't know why it's listed as an attempt, because it's not. And the facts of that case concern me, and so in 2019 CF 3190AO, I'm revoking the bond and setting it at none. And I'm gonna appoint the PD. All right, please tell me your name. Sorry.
Tyler Farmer is mental health.
Okay, we'll reset Mr. Farmer.
I apologize, Your Honor, my client's.
Oh,
have a
no,
lot of
you're
questions.
fine. I'm just not looking up, and I should be.
Right.
It's not your fault. Okay, are you Miss Ferndon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. You're here in 2019 CF 4988. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine. I do find probable cause for the offense. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will stay set at $1,000. And I am appointing the PD if I didn't say that. Okay?
James Houston is mental health, Your Honor.
All right. We'll reset Mr. Houston. Please tell me your name.
Daniel Joyner.
All right, Mr. Joyner, you're here in 2019 CF 4989AO. You were arrested for trafficking in MDMA and possession of hydromorphone, which is allotted. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will remain set at $50,000 on count one and $150 on count two.
Your Honor, I didn't hear the bond amount on the first count.
It's 50,000.
And count two.
150. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Jonathan Nice.
All right, you're here in 2019 CF 4999AO. You arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. You did not fill out a form for the public defender. Were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. All right. I'm gonna stay your bond at $1,000 on count one, and I'm gonna reduce it to $100 on count two. Do you think you'll be able to bond out?
Yeah.
Because if not, we'll set a determination at council hearing, because I don't want you sitting in there without an attorney.
Yeah, I just need access to an ATM
Okay.
machine or something.
Well, we'll just set it for a determination at council hearing in a week. And if you haven't hired an attorney and you haven't bonded out, we'll address it then, okay?
Okay, thank
Okay?
you.
And you're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription.
All right, thank you.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Michael Anthony Piwan Jr.
Mr. P1, you're here in 2019 CF 4993 AO. You're arrested for possession of tetrahydrocannabinol and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. Do you live in state?
Yes, I live in Winter Haven, Polk County.
Okay. Are you going back to
Yes.
California?
No.
You're not?
No, not at all.
Okay, because I was gonna put you in pretrial release, but that wouldn't work for you if you were gonna be traveling.
No, I don't
so-
travel. When I got off the plane and she pulled me over and she seen my plane tickets. Me and her got an
Okay,
argument.
don't talk about the facts of your case. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr.
Understand.
Listen to Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm a Florida resident though.
Okay.
I'm not leaving.
So I'm gonna put you in pretrial release, okay? You're gonna have to meet with them face to face once a week, and you're gonna get subject to random urinalysis. If they test positive within 30 days for cannabis, I'm gonna ask them not to violate you, okay? So that doesn't mean that you can smoke it or consume it or do anything with it, okay? So that's what's happening. All right, so no drugs, no consumption of drugs, no illegal drugs without a prescription. And you'll have to report and you'll have to listen to what pretrial release those conditions, okay?
Billy Robinson, he's mental health nurse.
Okay, thank you. We'll reset him.
Leroy Royal is also mental health.
Okay. We'll reset him. To both mental health. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Luis Gabriel Vasquez.
All right, Mr. Vasquez, you were arrested in 2019 CF 4998AO for possession of marijuana less than 20 grams, possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. You're also arrested for driving under the influence. I find probable cause, and that's in do we have a case number? Okay, I mean, I can find probable cause without a citation because I have the facts to support the probable cause, but we apparently have no case number because there is no citation. So I do find probable cause based on the facts alleged in the affidavit. So I don't know, Ms. Bush, if you need to contact the officer and
Your Honor.
advise them that they need to file a citation.
Your Honor, I don't know. Oftentimes, the citations get separated from the affidavit, and I don't know if that's the case here, but,
Okay, well, they don't have one. I don't have one.
and we often run across them this way, but,
Okay.
I will try to.
Okay. All right, so you're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to consume any alcohol.
Okay.
Your bond in 4998 will be count 1, 100, count 2, 1,000, count 3, 100, and in the DUI case, your bond I'm trying to figure out why it's set at 1,000. Normally it's 500. It doesn't say that he has
Yeah.
priors.
There's nothing in the history that,
Right. I'm gonna set your bond on the DUI at $500. Again, you're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to drink any alcohol.
Judge, did you appoint my office?
I think so. Did I? If not, I am.
Thank
So
you,
you're
Judge.
appointed on both cases, okay?
Okay.
I don't know the other case number, but
I'll have to find it.
all right, please tell me your name, sir.
My name is Furman Arroyo. Velasquez.
Okay, yes, sir. You're here in 2019 CF 4987AO. You're arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. You're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses in the case. You're not to return back to the post office at 1801 North Econo-Lochahatchee Trail. And you're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. And your bond will remain set at the $2,500.
Have a nice, have a good day.
Hey,
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Robert Koo Jr. Benjamin Walker,
Okay, thank you. We'll reset Mr. Walker. Mr. Bernskadel? Okay, we'll take no action on him. And then Mr. Stanley's behavior? Okay. Well, nobody wants to come see me today. All right, we'll reset Mr. Stanley.
Estelle, Derek, Condon. Jacob Wood, also bonded. Casey Bathier, bonded. This is Mr.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Crew, you're here in 2019 MO 6520. You were arrested for camping. I do find probable cause. You did not fill out a form for the public defender. Do you want to see if the state has an offer for you?
Sure,
You want to try and resolve your case?
sure.
Okay, let's see if the state has an offer.
And Your Honor, if I may have just a moment to get to Mr. Crew. The offer would be an adjudication, 4 days, 1 day credit time served, and court costs.
All right, Mr. Crew, the state's offer is an adjudication of guilt, 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 1 day you've served.
Okay.
And I have to impose court costs. Is that something that you want to do?
Okay.
Sorry?
Yeah, okay.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, do you okay with proceeding without an attorney?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, do you understand what's happening?
Yeah, I just gotta serve 3 more days. Right?
He's got credit for 2 days? Okay, so, looks like I think you'd get out tomorrow.
Okay.
2 days. I stepped back.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Crew, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Uh-huh.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
There won't be a trial. You won't confront any witnesses. This will end the case.
Okay.
Okay? All right, and you understand that, are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Okay, and you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation.
Okay.
All right, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea to camping. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 10th, 2020, okay?
Okay.
If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. All right, sir, good luck to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Angelica Espejo, bonded, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll take no action. Please tell me your name, sir.
Anthony Guglielmo.
I think we just saw each other the other day.
What's that?
I think we just saw each other the other day.
Yeah, I know. That was when I was at Lake Eola, and they said I was camping.
All right.
And last night I was at.
Well, don't talk to me about it. We'll get there. You're here in 2019 MO 6550. You were arrested for state misdemeanors. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there an offer for Mr. Guglielmo? I know we talked about how to pronounce your name the other day. I like the way it sounded. How do you say it again?
People say Guglielmo.
Okay, Guglielmo.
In Italian, it's Guglielmo.
Guglielmo.
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 5 days, 1 day credit time served, and court costs.
Okay, does he have 2 days in too? Okay, so the offer's 5 days with credit for 1 day. My guess is because you've been visiting us.
Excuse me?
I said my guess is the reason for the offer is that you've been visiting us recently, so is that something that you want to do today?
Yeah, I'll take whatever offer you give, Your Honor.
You want to take the offer?
Your Honor, he will accept the offer.
Huh?
He will accept the
Okay.
offer.
You can't go back there.
I understand.
Okay. Thank you. All right, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom? Is that a yes? We're being
Yes,
recorded.
yes.
Okay. Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes,
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
yes,
Are you on probation anywhere?
no,
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
I understand.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 1 day you've served. And I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 10th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you. I don't want to see you again.
Okay, thank you, Your
We
Honor.
can't keep meeting like this.
I understand.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Reginald House.
All right, Mr. Howes. You're here in 2019, MO 6570. You were arrested for state misdemeanors. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. And is there an offer for Mr. Howes?
Yes, and this is acknowledging the fact that he is out on release at this time. The state's offers an adjudication, 5 days, 1 day credit time served, and court costs.
Okay, Mr. Howes, I'm not gonna take action on your out on, it looks like you're on pretrial release?
Pretrial release, Your Honor.
Okay, so, are you, other than getting arrested, is he complying with pretrial release?
We don't supervise. That's
Oh,
our
okay.
admin
Do we know,
function.
or?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I don't have that info.
Yes, I am.
You are? Okay. Do you have an officer you meet with weekly? Okay. I'm gonna keep you on pretrial release. Do I have to, I don't have to sign this then if I'm gonna keep him on pretrial
You can say
release?
no action on that.
Okay, I'm not gonna take any action on it. You're gonna stay on pretrial release. But if you wanna take the state's offer today, it's the 5 days with credit for time served, 1 day, and I'd have to impose court costs.
Yes.
Okay. But if you come back again, Mr. Howes, I'm likely to revoke your pretrial release.
I won't.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just make sure you stay in contact with your officer that you report to, okay? Keep
Okay.
all your appointments.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Howes, you want to plead no contest?
Yes.
Okay, I'm
Your Honor.
showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Okay, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order that you pay those by April 10th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir.
Yes.
Do I have to fill this out or no? Like if I'm not taking any action? She said I could just take no action. I didn't understand, so I don't have to fill this out. I can give this back to you? Okay.
Usually want it back. I think there's a place for.
Because it says revocation, notice of revocation is the title.
Yeah. I think we usually just have you write no action somewhere, right?
Okay, I'll just,
They always want it back just to see.
okay, no action. All right, please tell me your name.
Jorge Ortiz.
All right, Mr. Ortiz, you're here in 2019 MO 6590. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Does the state have an offer for Mr. Ortiz?
Yes, it's an adjudication of guilt, 5 days Orange County Jail, 1 day credit time served, no return to the sideshow bar.
And I'd have to impose court costs. Mr. Ortiz, do you want to take that offer?
Excuse me, Your Honor. I was talking to him that I'm under doctor's care, and I'm supposed to have a surgery and a hernia in my stomach.
When's your surgery?
I just gotta just tell him when.
Okay,
I'm ready.
well, I don't,
And I have medical records over here also from the problems that I've been having with my.
okay, but your surgery's not scheduled, right?
No, because they just finished giving me a blood transfusion, so.
Okay. Well,
It's
that's
not
the
working.
offer. You can take it or not take it. It's really up to you.
Well, take it. Take it. I got no choice.
Your Honor, Mr. Ortiz has indicated that he'll accept the state's offer.
Okay, so you want to plead no contest?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Ortiz, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right, I do find a factual basis based on the charging affidavit for you to enter the plea. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. You're not to go back to that sideshow location, that bar, okay, and hang out on that street there. And I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 10th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Okay? Good luck to you, sir. Mr. Bronson?
He's mental health, Your Honor.
Okay. Has he just been reset one time?
Yes.
Okay.
Reset him.
You want to reset him again? All right, he gets one more shot.
I understand, Your Honor.
He can't even plea. All right, are you this Mr. Figueroa?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we were here yesterday on Mr. Figueroa's case, 2019 CF 4916AO. I found probable cause for those offenses. I did not find proof evident presumption great based on the information contained in the charging affidavit. And the state requested additional time to file a motion for pretrial detention. I believe they've advised that they may file that in the trial division.
It might be filed in the trial division, Your Honor, but I did not have enough to file it.
Okay. And I was provided more incident reports with regards to the case that were not contained, and the information was not contained in the affidavit for arrest warrant. And I believe we're just here to determine a bond amount as to the 3 counts.
And Your Honor, the state would ask that the court, based on the fact that, based on the safety of the victim, the community, and also based on the fact that his out-of-state history includes matters such as, if I may have just one moment, his out-of-state history includes matters such as false imprisonment, stalking, multiple assaults, several aggravated assaults. Now, as far as convictions, there is a conviction for assault and a conviction for aggravated assault. And he also has charges of terroristic threats, stalking, false imprisonment, endangering the welfare of a child, unlawful contact with a minor, and indecent assault. Based on that, the state would ask the court to set bond in this matter in a high amount of bond as to counts 1, 2, and 3. The state's recommended bond on those matters would be $300,000 each count, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams? You were provided the additional documentation as well?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you
Yeah, I did. I got it.
reviewed everything that I reviewed.
Yeah.
And you handed it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have reviewed that, and I reviewed the charging affidavit,
Yes.
which did not have all of this other information in it.
Correct.
Okay. Do you have any argument as to bond or?
No argument from the defense.
After my review of all of the additional information that I believed was missing from the original affidavit, as it was somewhat referenced, and the history of Mr. Figueroa as to specifically some out-of-state history, I do think that the state's bond recommendation is reasonable based on the facts and circumstances in this case. And so I am going to set bond on count 1 at $300,000 and as well on count 2 and count 3. These are the conditions of your release, Mr. Figueroa. You're not to have any contact with the victim in this case. You're not to have any contact with any witnesses in the case. That includes the teachers at the child's school and the child's mother. You're not to have any contact with any child under the age of 18. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to return back to the victim's residence. Are there any other conditions the state would be requesting other than the ones that I have mentioned.
No, Your Honor.
Right. All right, please tell me your name.
Darius Service.
Okay, Mr. Service, you're here in 2016 CT 547AW. Looks like this is a violation of probation. And the judge set your bond at none in that case. I guess there is a recommendation from probation. Is this the state's offer?
Your Honor, I am not aware of a recommendation,
I can,
but then I didn't pay attention to any recommendations
well, I-
that did come.
here, I mean, if you wanna look at it, but it's probation is recommending 60 days in the Orange County Jail, revoke and terminate his probation, and then obviously any costs of supervision or anything in arrears to be referred to collections court.
Your Honor, the state would defer to probation on this recommendation. Yes, the state will convey this recommendation.
Okay, it looks like he has 2 days total in. I don't even know if
This
Mr.
was-
Service is interested in that offer.
Your Honor, this was sent yesterday, so he would have a total of
Okay.
3 days in. And is he being held on anything else? Yeah, I thought so.
What?
He's being held on felony matters, Your Honor.
Okay. That's just the recommendation. It's now the state's offer. It's a 60 days. He has credit for 3 days in, and I would revoke and terminate the probation, but you don't have to take the offer if you don't want to. I would just substitute this for your arraignment. We would cancel your arraignment and give you dates for court.
All right, I can speak.
Sure, just don't talk about the facts of the violation, okay?
All right. The judge had gave me some things I had to complete, some classes I had to complete when he had registered me for probation, and I completed all my classes. I just completed the rest of my community service hours 2 weeks ago, and I was supposed to be off of this probation.
Okay, it looks like they violated you. Let me look at the violation of probation. So your violation of probation alleges that you committed new law offenses on or about April 5th, 2019. Possession of a firearm by convicted felon, possession of ammunition by convicted delinquent, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, and possession of cannabis of, looks like more than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. So I'm not sure he wants to admit to any violations today. So I'm gonna enter a denial for him. And we're gonna cancel the arraignment. And this is your arraignment. I've advised you of of what has violated you, Mr. Service. And we're gonna give you some dates.
Your VIP status will be in Division 81, May 20th at 9 o'clock in courtroom 9C.
was the public defender's office previously appointed?
I'm gonna appoint them now. Thank you. I'm not used to doing the misdemeanor VOPs in here. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Yes, ma'am. If I was to take the 60 days today, right, how would that affect the other things that I have going on?
Well, you're admitting to have committed those crimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So that's why I entered a denial.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that today. Trust me.
Thank you, ma'am. I bless you.
Because it appeared there were no technicals
Sometimes,
to.
Your Honor,
leave.
it's best coming from your mouth sometimes, Your Honor. You know.
All right, please tell me your name. Is this Mr. King?
King, ma'am.
Okay. All right, and your attorneys have filed a motion for ROR or on the alternative to reduce bond.
Sworn in, Your Honor.
You want to have him sworn in? Raise your right hand, please.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. King, let's talk about your finances. Do you own a bank account?
No, sir, I don't currently own a bank account.
Do you
Can
have
you all
any-
just speak up because it's really hard to hear, both of you.
Okay.
Either I'm going deaf
I
or.
thought I was talking loud.
Thank you.
Mr. King, do you own a bank account?
No, sir, I don't currently own a
Do
bank
you have-
account.
Do you have any personal effects that you can put up for collateral?
No, sir.
Do you have a source of income?
Yes, sir, I have 2 jobs. Well, I have 1 job now, but I'm currently considering taking a roofing job.
And being incarcerated hinders you from going to your job.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about your family. Do you have any family in Central Florida?
My father is in Fort Pierce, and my aunt, everyone is Fort Pierce. I have family, or close to family, but they're friends in Apopka, Florida.
Is any of your family able to assist you with a bond?
Not right now, no, sir.
I would like to have the court take judicial notice that Mr. King is indigent. Mr. King, if you were released on your own recognizance or have your bail reduced, what do you plan on doing when you are back into the community?
Currently, I'm considering moving into a sober house. I've gone to First Baptist of Orlando. It has a program that's going to assist me in obtaining more financial matters such as bank accounts and stuff. I'm trying to take life skills lessons, and I'm trying to get my life back in order, sir.
If you were released, how do you plan on getting to court?
Public transportation, sir. Lynx bus system.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Okay. State, do you have any questions for Mr. King?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. King, you said that you have 1 job and you possibly have a second job.
Yes, well, I know I can work with the roofing company. That's my friend Aubrey Crover. He's trying to get me to come from. I work with another friend at Allboard Construction, and
Do you get paid by the job, by the week? How do you get paid?
I could get paid. Well, I like to get paid by the week.
By the week.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is your take-home pay in an average week with Arbor?
With Allboard Construction, it's normally $80 a day.
$80 a day, so
Yes, ma'am.
how many days a week do you work?
Usually I can, on a good week, I can get 6-7 days a week.
6 or 7 days, so, correct me if I'm wrong, that's somewhere in the neighborhood of $560 a week.
Yes, ma'am.
And have you reached out to any bondsman?
No, ma'am, I haven't, but I have no one, or, you know, I don't, my family and friends are, everyone's strapped for cash right now, ma'am. I mean, I don't try to put
But
my burden on
my
others.
question was,
I
have you
haven't called
called a
any.
bondsman?
No, ma'am.
Do you know what you would have to come up with to afford your bond?
I'd have to come up with $100. It's
Okay.
a minimum rate.
And and you said that your friends and family are strapped. Who in your family did you call to see if they could help you with your bond?
Well, I could call my father or my mother, but
Now, who could you call? Who have you called?
I can't call anyone because you have to set up an account on the phone, you know, in order to make any type of call out of here.
And so you haven't called friends or family?
No, ma'am. I've currently been in here over 20-something days, ma'am. I would rather have, you know, this case settled. And if I could, you know, get a time, I'm in here over 20 days. Next week, I believe, would be my 33rd day.
And I have,
There's no charges been filed, so I can't get
Was
settled.
there, I'm sorry to interrupt, was there an offer made to you at arraignment, at IA's?
Never, ma'am. I would love to be sentenced.
Nobody ever made you an offer?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I know it was on the weekend.
I was arrested on the 16th. It was a Sunday, I believe.
and when you were arrested on this matter, you were already out on bond or release on another matter, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I have no further questions.
Okay, any argument, Mr. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. King, you stated earlier that you have personal knowledge that your family does not have any money, correct?
Yes, sir.
Would that prohibit you from calling family members if you already know they don't have any money?
Well, do you want to, are you asking more questions or?
I'm
Okay,
asking.
okay. I didn't know if you're making an argument or asking more
I'm asking.
additional follow-up
I was-
questions. Okay,
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
I could call them and I could probably ask, but I would not want to burden my family and have them do without. I would rather stay in jail than to burden my family and have them not be able to take care of their needs.
Because you have knowledge that they don't have any money to help with
Yes,
the bond.
they need the money more than me. My father and my mother, and they're in their 60s. You know, 'cause I don't feel right doing that.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have any argument?
My argument is that Mr. King here lacks the financial resources to post a bond. His incarceration severely hampers his ability to provide or to earn a living. And if he's able to be released on his own recognizances, he can return back to the community. Mr. King doesn't have any plans of leaving Central Florida. He has he's just said on the record that he plans on coming to court, making all his court dates. I don't see anything or have heard anything from Mr. King that would say otherwise. I believe that if he's allowed to return to the community and resume working, and also get into a residence, that he will make all future court dates in this matter.
Ms. Bush, any argument? I mean, do we have like a failure, any failures to appear? I don't have a face sheet, so
He has one prior failure to appear, Your Honor.
do you know when that was?
I can try to run his history
I think
quickly.
it was like 97. I was like 19 years old, I believe. I missed it.
Your Honor, if the state may just make argument, Your Honor, from the time that, of his initial appearance, it does not sound as though circumstances have changed since the staying of his $500 bond. Mr. King has put on the record that he makes $560 a week, roughly, between $540, $560 a week. He also has voluntarily, to some extent, he said that he doesn't want to burden his family or friends by asking them to assist him with his bond. Mr. King also has made no attempts to see whether or not he could secure a bond. Based on that, and based on the fact that he was already out on release, and I believe that too was ROR, for a similar crime, possession of paraphernalia, the state would ask that the court not release him on his own recognizance. And the state would have no objection to a modification of bond, which this motion asks for. It's either release on own recognizance or in the alternative to reduce the bond.
Okay. All right, Mr. King, you got lucky at IA's the last time because you didn't get your bond revoked. On the other case that you're out on bond in, and it came in as an attempted burglary of a structure, and it just got charged as a possession. Hold on. You got charged as a possession of drug paraphernalia, and then you got released ROR in January, and then you picked up this offense. Okay, so my concern is that if you get ROR'd on this case again, whether that be in a couple of days or not, that's not me making that decision. That's the state not filing charges within the time frame. Okay, so based on those factors and the fact that you haven't reached out to anybody, you haven't given any your attorney's information to reach out to any family member to see if they can post the bond. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna reduce the bond. Okay, just listen. I'm gonna reduce the bond to $250. Okay, and I think you should probably either reach out to somebody in your family or ask your attorneys to reach out to them if you can't set up a phone number account, because that's what they're there for. They're representing you and your interests, and they can reach out to your mother or father or any family member. But you got lucky at IA's because I probably would have revoked your bond.
May I address the
I'm
court,
just
please,
saying,
ma'am?
you
I
did get
understand
lucky
what you-
that
I
day.
understand totally
I don't
what
know
you're
why
saying.
that
I
nobody
appreciate
gave you an offer. That might have been the fact because you had a case already out. But I'm gonna reduce the bond to the $250. And I would encourage you to have your attorneys reach out to your family and try and contact them to see if they can help you with that bond, okay? But I don't feel comfortable RORing you because you picked up a new law violation. Well, I'm taking no action because this is notification of revocation. I'm not revoked. Yeah. So they just said, okay. She said that you all want this with no action on it. Okay. Okay. They're telling me that they don't want this.
I need a signed copy.
Yeah, we passed on
Okay. I don't know. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you please tell me your name?
Curtis Green Fulcher.
All right, Mr. Fulcher. You're here in 2019 CF 3501BO. The state has filed an information in this case charging you with manslaughter, voluntary or involuntary with a weapon. It is a first-degree felony, okay? And you were arrested pursuant to the capias in this case. And so probable cause has already been found by the judge that signed the capias. I've been provided additional information from the state attorney's office that supported the probable cause. And so I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you in the case. Conditions of your release. Where state do you want to be heard as to bond? It's not a PBL, but it's just a first-degree felony.
No, Your Honor, he
Okay.
is entitled to a
Yes.
bond.
Okay, so I didn't know if you wanted to be heard as to bond.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. The conditions of your release are gonna be as follows. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with the victim's family or the co-defendant in the case or any listed witnesses other than your wife, okay? You can obviously communicate with your wife. And I'm going to set your bond in the amount of $50,000. Okay. All right, and do we have anything else? No?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we'll be in recess until tomorrow.